There are plenty of stars indeed at Randwick today, Ian, and most of them are in the George Main Stakes, which you're going to see live on the wider world of sports. We've got Durbridge from South Australia. What a champ he's been over recent years. We've got the great New Zealander Viander Cross, and down from Brisbane we've got their star 3-year-old Brave Warrior. But I don't think any of them are going to be winning. I think they'll all go home with their tails between their legs because the Sydney champ, March Hare, is going just too good. He loves the Randwick 1600 metre trip. He's raced over it 5 times for 4 wins and a second, and I think he'll get the prize today. I was talking with his jockey Jimmy Cassidy, and I can tell you he's very confident. In the second leg up here in Sydney, I like Ruslan, TAB number 6. He's a stablemate of March Hare. He won very easily last start, and I think he can win again today. Down in Melbourne, we've got good races. Race 5 is the Bill Stutt Stakes at Moonee Valley, in which we see whether the Sydney Star Obsessed can beat the stars from down south. I think he can. Perhaps I'm being parochial, but he's a very good horse, this fellow. 4 starts for a second and then 3 wins, and I think he'll make it 4 on the trot today. In the second leg in Melbourne, fairly stiff race. It does look a nice event for Excited Angel. She ran a big race in the Thean last start. This is much easier. Up here in Sydney, 8 and 6 in the double. Down in Melbourne, 4 and 2. Good luck, good punting. Thank you, Ian.
Go on, you can. Thank you very much. Now, Kenny Sutcliffe, while you're relaxing with your feet up there watching the show this afternoon,
showing all the big races plus our normal Wide World of Supports program. But the Epsom next week. But in the meantime, let's join John Russell down there at Moonee Valley.
Good colt by Star Watch moving in. And Obsessed comes up. Brilliant Poet. Scored at Cranbourne last time out. Now waiting for Skipper Regent, who's a last start winner. Or actually 2 starts ago. Then ran 3rd at Caulfield. Didn't have much luck in the race, won by Racer's Edge. Miss Vividly moving in. St Covert's been a disappointment his last 2 runs. Deja Slew, a stablemate of the previous winner, coming up. Now St Covert moves in. Miss Vividly is ready and waiting for Deja Slew. Blevick on the inside. Northwood Plume Obsessed. Deja Slew, the last to go up for the Bill Stutt Stakes. A Group 2 race over 1,600 metres. Blevick is on the inside. Punctual next along. The light goes on. And away they go, and a perfect dispatch it was too, and Blevick one of the first to jump with Northwood Plume on the inside. St Covert began quickly. He's looking for the early lead, and going with him is Miss Vividly, and they were followed closely by Obsessed. And in behind them, Skipper Regent, a bit further back to Punctual, followed by Deja Slew, and a Brilliant Poet has dropped out to last. Going to the first turn, St Covert in charge by a length and a half in advance of Miss Vividly as they pass the 1,200 metre mark. 2 lengths to Blevick, half a length further back Northwood Plume. Out 3 deep as Skipper Regent. 2 lengths further back as Punctual, followed by Obsessed, who's third last with Brilliant Power, and last of all Deja Slew. 1,000 metres left to go, and the leader St Covert doing it nicely by a length to Miss Vividly, who's second. 2 lengths further back as Skipper Regent on the outside of Blevick. Between horses there is Northwood Plume. 3 lengths further back is Obsessed on the outside of Punctual, and a length and a half Deja Slew on the outside of Brilliant Power. Down the school side, 700 metres out. St Covert looks to be travelling well by a length in advance of Miss Vividly. Skipper Regent on the outside of Blevick getting a nice run, followed by Northwood Plume. Just behind them Punctual, and then further back in the field is Deja Slew. Obsessed is being ridden along at that point, second last, and last of all Brilliant Power as they race up towards the home turn where St Covert had skipped away. St Covert about 2 lengths clear in second place. Blevick is starting to run on. Northwood Plume is making ground on the inside. Obsessed is a mile back as they round the home turn. St Covert the leader, about to be tackled by the filly Northwood Plume, who moved up on the inside to tackle St Covert, who's fighting on well, and down the outside Blevick is joining him with Punctual. Obsessed not in the race. Halfway down the straight now Blevick is coming at St Covert. Blevick on the outside. St Covert fighting back gallantly on the inside. Blevick, St Covert, they hit the line. Blevick's just beaten St Covert. Third home is Punctual, followed by Northwood Plume. Skipper Regent, followed by Deja Slew. Obsessed a long way back, disappointing third last, followed by Brilliant Power, and last to finish is Miss Vividly.
$1.40, St Covert $1.80, and Punctual $2.40. Well, of course, big day in the AFL with 2 big matches on today.
This is it, folks, over the top.
Yes, the afternoon is sliding away. The starter Alto is just itching to get them underway in race 6 out at Randwick. But before he does, Ken Callender has got just enough time to check out the latest betting. Kenny.
Thanks, Max. I sure have, and this is the big one, the George Main Stakes. And a bit of specking for the top 2 here. 11 to 1 now, Durbridge. 9 to 1, Viander Cross. Gee, look well, Vianda Cross. 12 to 1 Soho Square, 5 to 1 Telesto, 20 Kingston Bay End Deposition, 50 Navy Seal, $2.70, almost 7 to 4 now. March Hare, good odds on the tote. 66 to 1 Mabasso, Noble Otto at 40 to 1. Brave Warrior is into 7 to 2, $4.60 on the tote, and the Law of the Land at 40 to 1. Don't forget, a lot of these horses will be running in the Epsom, and next Saturday we'll show you all races on Epsom Day live on the Wide World of Sport. Go and get your New South Wales TAB account, and you can bet and enjoy yourself all day right there in your own lounge room watching the Wide World of Sports. About to go in the George Main Stakes, a class race. Here's a class caller, John Tapp.
Good on you, Ken. Thank you. It is a class race, off and running in the George Main, and Telesto immediately out the back and bouncing out quickly as Wabasso. Soho Square began well, so did Durbridge. March Hare, one of the leaders with Deposition, and Kingston Bay. Followed by Brave Warrior, Law of the Land. Vianda Cross is a little worse than midfield on the inside of Navy Seal, followed by Noble Otto, and about 6 or 7 lengths away last Telesto in the run to the first corner. Durbridge is putting on some pace now, draws out to lead by about a length to March Hare, who wants to go faster. He's got the head up and is pulling pretty hard. Soho Square on his outside going around that first turn. On the fence, Kingston Bay, who had to ease slightly, followed by Law of the Land, and then Brave Warrior between horses in a handy posse. A bit more than a length to Wabasso, followed by Deposition, then Noble Otto, Navy Seal, Vianda Cross on the fence, and 3 lengths away last is Telesto. Past the 800 mark, Durbridge in his favourite role, led by a length to Soho Square, and 3/4 away March Hare near the fence, a length to Brave Warrior. He's being niggled a bit by Munce as they come to the turn, followed by Law of the Land, then Kingston Bay in that bunch, Noble Otto, followed by Wabasso, Deposition. Vianda Cross has pulled out wide, is starting to make up ground, and still Telesto as last, and Navy Seal second last. Over the rise now, and Durbridge is clear. He got away from them. Durbridge put about 2.5 lengths on Soho Square, followed by March Hare, and then Brave Warrior, but Durbridge going strongly at the 200 mark. March Hare knuckling down to his work, and here comes the 3-year-old Brave Warrior. Brave Warrior's the one to go after Durbridge. Durbridge still in front. Brave Warrior inch by inch is getting to him with Vianda Cross flying down the outside. Durbridge has lasted to win the George Main from Brave Warrior, and Vandy a huge run for third, wide out. I think he's third, just in front of March Hare. Then Noble Otto, Soho Square, Deposition, Navy Seal, followed by Kingston Bay, Law of the Land, and the last couple are Wabasso and Telesto in the George Main Stakes.
Well, they let Simon Marshall walk them in front on Durbridge. I knew he was going to give a big sight at about the half mile when they were going so slow. He slipped them and they never picked him up. Here he goes. He's out in front in the cerise and white stripes. Is Brave Warrior outside of March Hare, who couldn't go on. And did you see Vianda Cross? Here he comes. Oh, gee, he's right back to near his best. He's going to give them some swish from here on in. But Durbridge last, TAB number 1 to just beat Brave Warrior. And third will be Vianda Cross. The winner, Durbridge on the tote, has paid $12 plus for a win and $3.60 a place. Number 11, Brave Warrior, will pay $1.70 the place. And if Vianda Cross has got third, I think he has, he will pay $2.70. If he hasn't, if it goes to number 8, no, it goes to number 8, I'm sorry, third placing. March Hare has just hung on for third. March Hare will pay $1.40. So it's $12 plus and $3.60 the winner, $1.70 for second, and March Hare was third, will pay $1.40. Vianda Cross officially fourth. That was the George Main Stakes. We'll be back shortly with more on the Wide World of Sports.
Coming up on Wide World of Sports, we paddle into the lineup to do battle with the bone-crushing waves of Hawaii. Find ourselves a $5,000 Memorable Moments winner. Get airborne with Australia's World Cup formation skydiving team. And see who takes out the aerial obstacle contest in the Mountain Dew Test of the Toughest. Tomorrow morning, rugby league fans can enjoy the biggest coverage on the one day of the year when we bring you all the action of Grand Final Sunday from the Sydney Football Stadium. You'll see both lower grade deciders, all the pre-game entertainment, and our expert coverage of the Winfield Cup Grand Final between the Canterbury Bulldogs and the Canberra Raiders. In AFL states, football fans will receive their favourite fix as the gang drops around for a special playoffs edition of the Footy Show. And on Thursday night, a 2-hour Final Feast special. Get your motor running later tomorrow night when the lights turn green at Estoril for the running of the Portuguese Formula One Grand Prix. Then we'll head straight to South America as the bikes blast off the grid in Buenos Aires in the Argentinian 500cc Grand Prix. And next Saturday at noon, we'll be coming to you from Royal Randwick with all the colour and action of Epsom Day. All that and a whole lot more coming your way right here on the one and only Wide World of Sports.
Numbers were 111 and 8, Durbridge 12.70 and 3.60, Brave Warrior $1.70 and March Hare $1.40. Let's check the AFL, that preliminary final between Geelong and North Melbourne.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kenny. And only just over a minute to post time. Let's have a look at these prices. Credit account 9-2 into 4-1. Excited Angel solid at 6-4, might come in just a touch in the last minute of betting. Ladies Way at 15-1, True Rapid at 40. Gourmet Lady is at 6-1. Stephen Kingsmount Gilded Splendour at 12-1. Queen of Melbourne is at the same price. Alcove Patrick Payne, as I speak, has firmed into about $5.50, which is odds of about 9-2. Remember, these are Victorian TAB prices, and that's $5.50 for $1, a return of 4.5-1. Trivial Ash is at 40-1, and Sparkling Fun, another of the roughies, at 33-1. The race is over 1,600 metres. As we pick up vision, I think they're just about all in. Time for us to go to John Russell. Here he is.
Credit account standing up well. There are the lights. They're set. They're off and running. And Gilded Splendour on the inside beat them out from Queen of Melbourne, who began well with Credit Account, and Ladies Way away quickly with Gourmet Lady. Alcove got away quickly from the outside, followed by Trivial Ass, Sparkling Fun in behind them, True Rapid, and Excited Angel has dropped out to last. Going to the first turn with about 1,300 metres left to go. Queen of Melbourne takes up the running, about a half length to Gourmet Lady, who's reefing for a head a length. Further back, Gilded Splendour on the inside of Ladies Way. Alcove is going around them quickly up towards the lead there, followed by Credit Account on the inside of Trivial Ass. A length and a half further back, then over on the outside, Sparkling Fun, followed by True Rapid, and 2 lengths to Excited Angel at the back of the field. 900 metres left to go. Queen of Melbourne, the leader by a half length to Alcove. 2.5 lengths away in third place is Gourmet Lady on the outsider. Moving up there, Gilded Splendour, and just in behind them, going forward around them quickly now is Trivial Ass, and they were followed closely by Ladies Way. A bit further back in the field, Credit Account taking off around them, Excited Angel, Sparkling Fun, and True Rapid last of all. They're bunching up at the 600 metre mark. Trivial Ass on the outside, putting in a runner to go up and tackle Queen of Melbourne. Alcove is in the centre of that period. Excited Angel continuing that move, is now running forth and coming home well. Ladies Way is in behind them. Sparkling Fun from a long way back, followed further back by Credit Account, and Gourmet Lady as they round the home turn for almost abreast. Excited Angel on the outside has gone up to tackle Trivial Ass. Alcove is battling on well down on the inside. Queen of Melbourne and Sparkling Fun is down the outside. Excited Angel on the outside. Alcove is fighting back only, and Sparkling Fun from a long way back. It's Alcove and Excited Angel there locked together. Alcove doing a bit the better. She's too good, Alcove. She wins it. Alcove by a long head. Excited Angel tight for third. Trivial Ass or Ladies Way, and back behind them Credit Account, Sparkling Fun. Further back then Gourmet Lady, True Rapid, Queen of Melbourne, and last home Gilded Splendour.
And a dead heat between 3 and 9. Alcove the winner, $5.30 and $1.80. Excited Angel $1.30, and a dead heat between Ladies Way paying $1.90 and Trivial Ass $5 even. Now for the latest on the next at Randwick, let's go out to Kenny Callender. Ken?
Yeah, thanks very much, Bear. This is race 7, the second leg of the double, the Bill Ritchie handicap. Innocent King needs further, is at 66-1, 10-1 Big Dreams, 50 Azam, 5.5-1 Committal. Unequal to 25-1, Ruslan at 4.5-1 or 9-2. Baggio is a 9-1 chance, 20 Capestead, 16 Social Rule. Espinosa from Melbourne is well in commission at 9-2. A big field this one. Mighty Tango at 40-1, Crathy at 30-1. Over the top at 7-2, 3.5-1. And last of the 14 runners, West End at 66-1. Thanks, Bear.
Right, you Ken. 3/4 time in the AFL.
Very much, Max. Big day at Randwick today, but an even bigger day next week when the Epsom handicap is on. And if you want to see the action there, All you've got to do is flick your television onto the Wide World of Sports and you'll see all the action from Randwick on Epsom Day. The best thing, as I told you earlier, is to go down, take a New South Wales TAB account out. There are all the girls now at TAB phone headquarters, and they're taking the bets of the punters, and you too can be ringing these lovely ladies next Saturday and having a bet with them on the 1994 Epsom, and I'll tip you the winner. I tell you what, if he runs, Viandacross will be hard to beat. Right, race 7 now. This is the one, the Bill Ritchie handicap, that holds our attention. Innocent King is at 66 to 1, Big Dreams at 10 to 1, Azam at 50 to 1, Committal getting out a little bit now to about 7 to 1 Committal. TAB number 5, Unequalled, is at 25 to 1. Ruslan has firmed up to about 15 to 4. Odds of about 3 3/4 to 1, $4.80 for $1 investment. TAB number 7, Baggio, is still at 9 to 1. Capstead has firmed a little into 16 to 1. Capstead, not bad odds with Mick Dittman on him. TAB number 9, Social Rule, impressive at Newcastle. Shane Dye, the rider, he's now at 14 to 1. Espinosa, been very, very well backed, has firmed from 9 to 2 into 4 to 1. Mighty Tango, one of the roughies, is now out to 50 to 1. Crathy is out from 30s to 33s. Over the Top was 7 to 2 last time I spoke, just eased a fraction to $4.80. That's about, as we said before, 15 to 4. And West End out from 66 to 1 to 80 to 1. So Ruslan, who I've tipped, Espinosa and Over the Top are the three punters are settling on. There's Ruslan in centre screen now with the gold with the black cap. Jimmy Cassidy, the jockey, a chunky little fellow, low slung horse, but he can accelerate, he can really quicken, and he's suited if they just bowl along and he sits back off the speed and then goes crash bang wallop in the straight. That's the script. I hope he adheres to it. That's Committal over there in the TAB number 4, white with the blue striped sleeves and the white cap. Committal is a very honest horse, was placed behind Ruslan last start at Rosehill, and he'll run well. There's Innocent King. He'll find it a bit too short. Of course, he won the Derby here the year before this. Committal still in centre screen. There's Mighty Tango. Mighty Tango ran a good third in the Cameron Handicap at Newcastle last start. He's at big odds today, as I told you, odds of about 50 to 1. I reckon they're just about all in, and John Tapp's ready for the action. Here.
All set. Starter coming over now. Starter Bill Cooper approaching his rostrum to release the field in the Bill Ritchie handicap, and they look good. 1,400 metres. Baggio, the inside runner. Off. Baggio took a backward step. He's slow to move at the start. Espinosa didn't jump all that well. Big Dreams and Committal are away quickly, and so is Over the Top, who's zooming to the lead, followed by Cape Stad, Mighty Tango. Right behind those, Social Rule and Ruslan working into a handy spot on settling down, followed by Cravey, and just behind those is Unequalled. On the fence, Baggio from Espinosa, and then West End, who's a bit deep around that first corner, and the stayers Innocent King and Azam are back at the tail. Going around that first corner, Mighty Tango wants to bolt. He can't hold him any slower. Draws out the leader half length to Over the Top, and they've got plenty of pace on at the 800 mark. 2 lengths away running third, Social Rule, followed by Cravey and then Ruslan. A length and a half to Big Dreams, travelling wide on the outside of Espinosa and Baggio. Committal between horses, followed by Cape Stad, Unequalled, West End, Azam, and last Innocent King. To the turn, Mighty Tango just the leader. Over the Top about to grab him with Crazy next on the inside of Social Rule, followed by Ruslan, who's about to be switched to the outside as they come over the rise, and Cassidy hasn't popped the question yet. On top of the hill, Over the Top is the leader from Social Rule, with Ruslan now going for home. Cravey is running a bit of a race too, but Ruslan on the extreme outside in the gold with the black cap has breezed to the lead from Over the Top and Cravey. Big Dreams is getting home gamely, but Ruslan's going to do it again, and Ruslan in his new colours won well from Over the Top. Big Dreams third, fourth Social Rule, followed by Cravey, Unequalled, Espinosa, then West End, Innocent King, a nice run from Committal, Cape Stad, Baggio and Mighty Tango, who pulled too hard, and Azam last.
I finally tipped the winner. TAB number 6, Ruslan. If you've backed him, $4.40 the win and $1.80 the place. I told you that was the script, to sit back off the speed and then go bang. That's exactly what he did. And in the yellow, with the gold, I should say, with the black cap, he was too good. Over the Top, who was second all the way in the predominantly blue colours there. TAB number 13 will pay $1.90 for the place for running second. And number 2, Big Dreams, was third, will pay $3.50. That was racing today. I hope you backed a winner. I got out on the last. We'll see you next week on the Wide World of Sports.
On the previous at Randwick, 6.13 and 2. Rowsland 4.40 and $1.80, Over the Top $1.90, and Big Dreams $3.50. Well, in the AFL today, it was preliminary final game number 1 between Geelong and North Melbourne, and Geelong won it by a goal. The scores were tied at 103 apiece with 10 seconds to go, and Gary Ablett from right in front kicked another 6-pointer. So 16 goals, 13 to 14-19, a win to Geelong over North Melbourne.